Hi folks, it's Kieran here. Today I am at Market Harbour Skatepark and the ledge is dry, so we're going to work on the backside nose slide. If you've been watching the channel a while, like a good while, I've actually learned how to do this trick before, like the pop-in version, and I've also done the slappy version, but it's probably been well over a year, maybe close to 18 months since I've actually done the pop-in version of this trick. Not really sure why. Like when I first learned them, I didn't learn how to do them very well. I didn't like learn the proper technique, and I think that just put me off from doing them from then onwards. So I've come back to do it today on the ledge here at Harbour. It's a little bit taller than the one I learned on last time, but I think this is a good height for learning this trick. Also, what I'm going to do today is kind of set myself a new, or developed a new way of sort of thinking about learning these ledge and ramp and rail tricks, which is so much more scarier. The plan is to like break the trick down into multiple stages of progression so that it doesn't feel like such an all or nothing battle. So for a lot of you, as I explain this, you'll be like, yeah, that totally makes sense. Why haven't you been doing this forever? Because I'm dumb. But in the past, like say I wanted to come down and learn how to do a nose slide, I would only count success if I was able to roll up, jump in, slide and roll out. And if you've never done a trick before, especially a trick that like is on an obstacle and freaks you out a little bit, like that's quite a big goal, and there's a lot of little things that have to go into it in order to make that happen. But because I was only focused on that being the one achievement, if that didn't happen, I felt like I hadn't done anything. I'd walk away from the session like feeling pretty bummed out and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do is just break the trick down into its component parts and treat each one as like a small stage of progression, and as long as we can get through like maybe one or two, whatever stages, I'll feel like I've made some progress. So for the nose slide, I'm going to break it down into 4 stages. The first is obviously just popping in and really locking into the trick. This is something that I didn't do a very good job of last time, and I kind of like locked in too soft like this, so I sort of pivoted out. I need to really like jam this foot in here and really lock it in tight before we get a slide. And I'm going to do that super slow. Just roll up really slowly, pop, hit the rotation and just really lock that in. And that's like stage 1 of the progress. As long as we can get that, if that's the only thing we achieve today, it's still progress and I'll still be happy with the session. Step 2 is going to be to do the same thing but going just a little bit, rolling a little bit quicker so that we get some slide. I'm not talking about anything massive, literally just a little slide along. And it doesn't even matter if I land the trick. This is one of the things I'm really going to be sort of strict on, is as long as I slide, that's progress. You don't have to worry about landing it. Step 3 would be to slide and then land it. Even if we come to a complete standstill and end up like holding there for a minute before we get out, that's going to be like step 3 of the progress for me. And like step 4, like the ultimate one, is obviously to do the trick in a really nice way, pop in, get a slide and come out all in one smooth motion. It's a pretty simple idea. Like I can't believe that I haven't been doing this for like way longer, and it, you know, breaking a trick down like that, giving yourself these little like hits of progress, something that you can work to, which isn't just, oh, land the trick the perfect way you want to land it in your mind, is, you know, it's definitely going to help out with the confidence and things like that, which is where I've really struggled when it's come to like learning these tricks in the past. And it's because I've got this idea of what I want the trick to look like in my mind, and if I don't do it like that, I feel like I've come up short. So I'm trying to change that process, try to change that mindset, you know, just break the trick down, do the simple bits, yeah, and then like I said, even if all we manage to get to do today is get used to locking the trick in and we manage nothing else, that's still progress that we can then take into the next session with this trick. So yeah, that's it's plenty of waffle. Let's just let's get to it. Let's just start working on just popping and locking into this trick. That's probably like the worst thing that can happen. Obviously I missed my front foot, it slid down. Like, it's not going to hurt doing that probably. It's still a mind game. was the first one that I felt like I was actually in and slightly held. Like I think if I hadn't surprised myself and really just shifted this weight on here, we could have held it in place. So I'm obviously like consistently getting my nose and trying to get up against the ledge. And the temptation at this point to be like, cool, I've got this, and like push a little bit further and try and get a slide is like super high. But I know full well that if I do try to do that, what's probably going to happen is I'm just going to get into a habit of getting in, maybe just getting a little slide and just falling off. Whereas I want to build the habit of being sat in it. I really want to sit and be able to stand up on it, just in the stall, so that when we get to the slide, we're so used to this feeling and getting this weight down here, the long term, it will make it so much easier to learn to like really hold the slide and stuff. It will probably be slightly easier stationary, I'm not going to lie, just to go from stationary to locked in. But I hate doing trick skateboarding stationary, like it freaks me out. Like I learn every trick moving, because if I just try and do like a flat ground kickflip stationary, I just find it way weirder than trying to do one rolling. Like every trick I've ever learned, I've had to do rolling, because it just, yeah, it just gets to me doing things stationary. So yeah, we're making progress. Haven't quite got that step one yet. Let's just crack on. It's coming. Right, that was a weird one. Obviously we got in, we held it for a second. I think we even got a little slippy, and then, you know, we were able to get out of it. I think like my momentum of coming in, it moving is like making it more difficult to hold it, and there is part of me that's like, well, take what we did just there. That's like a step that we actually got in and held it, and obviously accidentally sliding, but that's just because of the momentum we've got. But I didn't feel like I was really sat on top of the ledge. It did feel a little bit like I got in like kind of loose and then thing. So I don't know. Gonna just keep cracking on. I feel like when we fought, like it might be hard to like see what I mean, but I'll know it when I get it. Is that feeling of feeling like I'm really sat on top of the ledge. What I want is to be so locked in that I just stay completely still. But I think I'm now starting to think that because I'm coming out at an angle like you would for a nose slide, like that's like not quite going to happen, just because naturally as I turn it's going to push my weight a little bit and I'm going to move. I don't know. I bet if I came at it more like a harsh angle, I'd like could get into it. If I came straight on, I could just pop into it like a nose stool and hold it there. But I don't want to do that, because that's a good step for like checking if you can get onto the ledge and get high enough onto the ledge, and like working out how to aim for the ledge. Like that's a great idea. But for what I'm doing, I don't like. That doesn't feel like the right step. I'm talking a lot of nonsense. Let's keep cracking on, and yeah, we'll just see what happens. But regardless, that is progress. I'm starting to get frustrated with this trick now. Like I'm still just not locking in and holding in it. And as much as it kind of like, it probably looks fine, because there are some that we're getting on and we're sliding, and you know, we had that one that we did land, and we had a couple of others that were close. Like, the problem is I don't feel like I'm in control, and that's something that for me on this trick I think is so like is important. I need to feel like I am locked in on it. I guess the best way I can think of it, like explain it, is when I pop and get onto it in the slide, from that moment on, I feel like at the moment I'm just going with whatever happens. So if the board slides forward and shoots off a bit, yeah, if I'm lucky, I get my feet on top, I keep my feet on top of it, it looks like I've landed it, but I have no control over that point, and that's the point that I really need to have control. Like, I need to know and feel like I'm sat and locked on it, and that's what we're chasing. But it's really starting to wind me up, and I've always said to myself in the past, like, if I'm getting wound up with the trick or wound up with skating, like, just to stop and do something else, because obviously, you know, I do this for fun. I don't come out to relax, not to get wound up. And the nature of like pushing yourself and progressing is sometimes it will be frustrating, especially when you feel like you know you can do something. So cool. I think what I'm gonna do, just have a little skate around, do some other stuff, land some tricks, because like I've been working on this and not landed anything, it feels like, for ages. And then if I'm feeling good, I'll come back and do a few more. If I'm not, we'll just leave it for today and we'll come back at it another day. Get out. So I was frustrated, I stopped. I stopped for like, I don't know, 3 minutes. I did a 50-50 grind on the ledge. I did some kick flips, and then I was like, cool, we're gonna crack on with it, because, you know, I really want to get this today. I really want to make some progress with it today. And then what? Second try, we land another fluke one. Every fluke is either taking me further away from what I want to achieve, which is control, or getting me closer. I cannot work out which. I hate this trick already. Ah! Bum. There's my bum again. I'm gonna stop there. Just starting to feel a little bit too tired and a little beat up, and I feel like I've had some good results with what we did in these last few tries after we come back from frustration. I don't want to get back to the point where the frustration sets back in, so we'll just stop for now. I still don't quite know where I am with this trick. I guess positive sides, we did make some progress. I don't feel worried about popping and landing with my nose on the ledge, which was something that was kind of freaking me out a little bit. So we obviously got through that. We did land some. I didn't feel like I was in control, like I was saying earlier. I just feel like I hit the ledge, stuff happens. Sometimes I land on my boards and come off. I definitely don't feel like I can hold it and pull it back to regular, which really is what I want to do. I feel like with this trick, like, it's easy to get it out to fakie, because you can just like pop in, hit a bit of a slide, and like using the momentum of that turn and come back to fakie like it's like a front 180 with like a nose slide slash on the ledge, which is kind of what I ended up doing them when I learnt them. I didn't learn them whenever, in the last video. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to see it. I want it to feel more like the slappy Noseslides I do, where I feel locked in, I feel like I'm holding it and I can pull it back out or whichever way I want to, and that's just not quite got that yet. So yeah, here's what it is. We'll keep coming down, keep working on it, keep just getting used to it. I just feel like eventually it'll just happen. I don't know. If you've got any ideas, leave it in the comments down below. Like, I definitely need some help with this trick. If you think it's the angle I'm coming at it, like if I should change that, or whether like it's my momentum pulling me around, whatever you think, just drop it in the comments down below. Let me know, because the help I get from you guys, as I say on every video, really is invaluable. So yeah, here's what it is. We'll try it again in the future. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe, and then you'll get notified when the next one goes up, and you can see how the battle in the nose slide ends up. Don't forget to hit the like button as well, and a huge thank you to everyone as always who watches the videos. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you on the next one.